My name's Tony Bellew. You're listening to the Boxing Prospect Podcast. Enjoy.
Now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
Hello and welcome to the Box Prospect Podcast. I'm your host Kaz. With me is Ammon.
Yo.
Alright, today, first podcast, we got a big guest on, Tony Bellew. So for news of this week, big week for Dazn. Triple G has been confirmed to sign. Been a rumor for a few months. Now we finally have it. Triple G has signed to Dazn, 6-fight deal. Probably going to fight Demetrius Andrade first.
Yeah, and it will be a 3-year deal. So 2 fights per year with Dazn.
Question is, who is he going to fight after Andrade? Probably Canelo, right?
Yeah, probably
Yeah,
a
it has to be
rematch.
Canelo. Then he has 4 more fights. Who's he going to fight? Billy Joe, maybe?
I love the Billy Joe fight, but I'm not sure if you'll take that, to be honest.
Who else can he fight though at middleweight? He has to fight Canelo again. He's already said he wants that fight. He's probably going to fight Andrade in his next fight.
I think
Maybe-
Canelo's going to end up fighting Lemieux somehow.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know. I think Triple G and Canelo will fight again after Triple G's fought Andrade and Canelo's fought Jacobs.
How do you think the Andrade match will go with Triple G, though?
I think Triple G will win it, but Triple G will probably look pretty bad. I mean, he didn't look that good in the second Canelo fight. It did look like he was fading, even though I had him winning on points.
I think it's a hard match for him. I don't know if they'll take that as his first fight, to be honest. It's a bit risky. If he loses, then the deal's kind of just
It's
pretty
kind
much
of
throw it
fucked.
up.
Yeah, it's really fucked. Who else is he gonna fight though? I thought that was like the big rumor for a while. He's
Yeah,
gonna
that's
fight
the main rumor.
Andrade. He might fight Rob Brandt.
Yeah, I actually like the Brandon fight. I don't think most people actually want to see that, but I feel
It's
like
not
it's
that-
a good match.
It's not that bad of a fight. But
Brandt's
there's really
underrated,
no
though.
one else in the division for him to fight. Maybe
Yeah.
Charlo. It's the only
I'm not
person I can
interested
think
in
of.
Brandon much anymore, to be honest with you.
Why not?
I think he didn't look good in his last fight.
Against Korobov, who's a budget Triple
Yeah,
G.
I thought Korobov won, to be honest.
Yeah, I had Korobov winning as well. Maybe Jarrett Hurd. That was another rumor. I just can't think of
Hurd's alright.
6 people he can fight though. I could think of like 4. Like obviously, all right. So Canelo's 1, Andrade, Rob Brandt, Murata. Who else? That's 5. That's 4.
I think
Maybe
Murata's
Charlo and then Billy Joe. That's 6. But
Murata's gonna be busy rebuilding though.
oh yeah, after his loss.
Yeah, he was thinking about retiring apparently before his after he lost actually with Brandt. So I don't feel like he's gonna have a big fight in a couple months or a year at least.
Sucks for him. He kind of fucked his career up, didn't he?
Yeah.
First he got Rob versus Hassan and Dam, and then after that it's just had a very bad fight against Rob Brandt where he got exposed for having no boxing skills really.
He got outboxed. He showed a great chin, but
Yeah. It wasn't
yeah, he
enough
ended up
though.
losing.
More Dazn news. Wilder is having a meeting with Dazn. Possible signing going on. Eddie Hearn just buying out every big name fighter at this point.
Yeah, he's gonna be making 20 million per fight apparently on DAZN now. If he actually decides to take the deal, that is.
We have no idea how many fights the deal is. All we know is a multi-fight offer.
Not
There's
sure if it
there's no more
includes
info.
Dominic Brazil though as well. Would that be a DAZN fight or is that
No,
gonna go ahead
that fight's
as-
already been signed. That would be
Okay.
outside of the zone. It'd
contract,
be
yeah.
everything after Brazil.
Okay.
I think the Joshua fight could happen easier, but I don't think it's the promoters that are making the Joshua fight take so long. I think it's both of them not really wanting to. Mainly Wilder not wanting to fight Joshua
Yeah, I agree.
until they can make more money. So probably next year, because Deontay Wilder is supposed to be fighting Fury in September, but now Fury said he doesn't want to fight Wilder again. So I don't know what's going on.
Who do you
At
think he would
heavyweight
fight
right now.
after fighting Brazil?
Oh, Wilder.
Yeah. You think Dylan White? Dylan White. Coming up.
Maybe Miller after Miller loses to Joshua, or probably loses to Joshua. Maybe
let's see how that
Kanaki.
fight
There was
goes.
some rumors about Kanaki.
Kanaki's a good fighter. I think he's a really good fighter.
Yeah. If Wilder beats Brazil and Miller, he just cleaned out all of American heavyweights. Not that there was that many anyway. They all suck, but
Yeah, there's Brian Jennings, I guess, but I think we want to see that match. With Wilder.
No, I don't want to see that. There's literally no one else he can fight though. Maybe Povetkin, but that's a real bad fight.
I think Povetkin wins.
I don't think he wants to fight Povetkin.
Probably an unpopular opinion again.
I think Povetkin wins as well. I don't know, I keep hearing people in the US call him a Russian bum, but he's a very good fighter who's only lost to Joshua and Klitschko.
Yeah.
He's very good. I don't see why people hate on him.
He's good power.
He's a great boxer in general.
The only thing I think Wilder has on him is reach. Maybe people say he has more power than Povetkin, but
yeah,
I think
he has one hit power though.
Yeah.
Povetkin can brawl.
Wilder should have okay chin versus Ortiz, but I don't think Ortiz is a one punch KO
Ortiz
artist.
A 50-year-old fucking man.
Yeah.
Is that it for Wilder? I've got nothing else to say about him really. I mean, if Wilder signs with DAZN, Eddie Hearn literally owns every big pay-per-view boxer, right? He has Joshua, he has Canelo. Those are already the two biggest. The Canelo's the biggest in the world. He has Triple G, who's another big one. What's a big boxer he won't have? Well, Fury. Fury doesn't even make that much on the gate.
Yeah, he's on
pay-per-view. He doesn't make that much. Yeah, Fury doesn't even make that much. So literally, Eddie Hearn owns everyone. Bob Arum's best fighter that he owns is probably Lomachenko, right? He probably makes the most money on pay-per-view.
Well, there's actually one more thing. One more person that Wilder could fight. He could fight Derek Chisora if he joins DAZN.
Yeah, maybe.
I like that fight. I think that's a really good match.
Yeah.
Not sure if it's a pay-per-view though. That might be kind of stretching it.
I don't think. No one in the US is gonna know who Chisora is, and that fight would happen in the US unless Wilder wants to come to UK, but I don't think he does.
To be fair, most people didn't know who Ortiz was in America since the sales were so poor for the.
Yeah, the sales sucked for that as well. I don't know why they had that fight. They considered it a step-up fight for Wilder, I guess, but Wilder wants money fights at this point, and that's not a money fight. Yeah. I think if Wilder wants money fights, obviously the Fury rematch, the fight against Joshua is the big money fight. And I don't know who else he could really fight that would get a lot of money. Jarrell Miller, maybe? He'd make money off that.
Yeah. It depends if he looks bad versus Joshua. If he looks terrible, then no one wants to see Wilder versus Miller. Yeah.
People want to see it. If Miller beats Joshua, then people would absolutely want to see it.
Yeah.
But that's a long shot. That's a long shot for Miller to beat Joshua. We have some news on prospects. First fighter we have news on is Vijender Singh. Finally has his opponent confirmed after over a year out of the ring. It's not what we expected. When we first heard, he was gonna fight in America, we thought maybe Jesse Hart. Ended up being a guy called Calvin Metcalf, and he doesn't even have a picture on BoxRec. He's ranked 200.
To be fair, I don't think he's the worst fighter they could have got because he's 9-1-1. So he has 1 draw, 1 defeat. The draw coming from split decision fighting Ethan Cooper, who is pretty unknown too. He's 2-0-1, but he's a light heavyweight. And his loss was to Connor Quayle, who comes from a fighting family, with his great granddad also being a pro boxer called Spider Jim Kelly, who has 125 wins, 34 losses, and 12 draws.
And he's ranked 200. I wish he had a better opponent. And people were roasting him obviously for having a shit opponent, but for a year out of the ring, there's not much more you can do, honestly.
I think it's a fair fight in terms of rank compared to some of the other fights that Gilberto Ramirez had, to be fair.
I just wish he wasn't out of the ring for a year. Yeah, that's the only reason he's fighting this guy. He hasn't fought in over a year. Mainly to his promotional company.
Yeah, Freddie Roach is his trainer now, so he was saying he's going to show the world a new Vijender, apparently, so we'll see the new style or changes that were made.
Yeah, I guess we will. I don't know. I don't think you could change him that much. He'll probably be similar, but I hope Freddie Roach fixes some of his footwork issues.
Yeah, he does a little chicken leg dance sometimes.
Oh my god, that fucking chicken leg. I think they're going to turn that into a Bollywood dance after the fight's done.
They may as well.
We also have Kazakh Thunder's fight confirmed.
Yeah, he's fighting Carlos Jimenez. Well, the fight's going to be in America, but he's Mexican and he is rated 42 at super lightweight right now, so he should be moving up to fight Daniel. I think it's an interesting fight. He has 14 wins, 9 losses, and 1 draw right now.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. He's just moving up, so Kazakh Thunder is going to have the advantage, but the guy doesn't have that good of a record, really, 14-9-1.
I think he's fought pretty decent people, to be fair. He's managed to have a couple of 3-star fights on BoxRec.
Carlos Jimenez has 2 scheduled fights on BoxRec. That's how you know someone's a journeyman.
I mean,
He's
Why
also
is one
fighting.
off-
He's also fighting another prospect from Kazakhstan.
Wait, if you look at it, right, why is it one day after the other in box track? Surely that's a bug because one's in Canada, one's in America, unless he's going to travel to Canada. I think there's an error, surely, right? Because it's a 1 day gap.
I don't know. I think he
The
just wants to
schedule.
get beat up by 2 Kazakhs in a row. Honestly,
Maybe he could win twice in 1 day.
that would be the 2 biggest upsets of all time.
He's managed to
Nah,
beat
he-
someone
he-
27-0 before.
He probably isn't fighting 2 days out, well, 1 day in between each other. I don't think the board would allow that.
He managed to beat Pedro Campa though before, who is
Yeah,
rated
that's a
29 at
decent
super
win.
lightweight.
And more Indian prospect news: Vikas Krishnan has his second fight confirmed. He's fighting Noah Kidd on the 20th of April, and he will be on the undercard of Crawford Khan, which is, that's a pretty big card. We don't know if he's going to be broadcasted though. We're not 100% sure.
I think that's a good step up fight from his first one though. His first one was someone rated, I think, 1,200 at the time.
Guy called Steven Andre. Do you think Demetrius Andre's like cousin or something?
No, he's not. He's just another Andre. But Noah Kidd's fought Kazakh Thunder before. That was his first fight. At the time, he was 3-1-1. I think we could compare this fight to how well Vikas does here to how well Kazakh did. Kazakh Thunder.
I mean, that's probably the best way of trying to compare Vikas Krishnan to another pro boxer. You can compare him to Kazakh Thunder.
I don't think most people knew that Vikas Krishnan also beat Spence in amateurs, but it got overturned because of some complaints about the result.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very fishy in amateurs.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit that goes down.
I thought Vikas won that match. Thought it was a good fight, close fight though.
Vikas Krishnan might eventually fight Kazakh Thunder anyway, because there's only like one weight class in between each other. It's not a lot of weight in between them, and they're both like the exact same age.
He's called out Errol Spence before. He wanted to settle it in the pros, he said.
I don't think Errol Spence will take that fight, because that is not a money fight at all.
I
Then
think
again, Errol Spence might think he's some bum and then fight him, but he's not
I
going
don't
to
think
make
Errol
money on
Spence
the
remembers
fight.
him.
I don't think so either, honestly.
I hope they have a match later though, if he could build his name up, and then Errol Spence could maybe call him out later if he actually manages to get into the top 10.
But will he get into the top 10 though?
I feel like he will, because we have Sam Eggington in the top.
Yeah.
What is he now? Top 20?
I thought he was top 10.
Oh, he's 30 now, apparently, Sam Eggington.
Damn, he dropped then. He dropped
Yeah.
hard. He wasn't top 10 at one point. He was number 10.
I think it's because he lost to that Tanzanian fighter. That's relatively
Yeah,
unknown.
that completely fucked his rankings.
Yeah, I guess Hassan Moakinho is now. He's in the top 25. He's 14-2. He's from the same place as Francis Checa, the great fighter.
For anyone who doesn't know Francis Checa, he fought Vijender Singh, got hit with a jab in like the third round and quit the fight.
Yeah, he spat his mouth guard out, and
Yeah.
his corner was really angry at him.
Yeah, they were super pissed that he made him go all the way to India just for him to quit a fight. And he also got knocked out by he also got knocked out by Pazi Wapazi.
Yeah. Well, a sad end to a great.
Yeah. They had hometown beef. It was a hometown war. The two Tanzanian guys at the same weight class. We talked about it for years, and it finally happened, and Checa got knocked out. No footage of it available online. Probably taken down by Checa himself. So last week we had a few prospects fight. Should we go over Dubois' fight first?
Yeah, we could go over Dubois fight.
Yeah, Dubois beat the fucking shit out of Rajvan Kajanu, which no one's really surprised about.
I thought Dubois did pretty good. I don't think he threw the best combinations though at times. I thought he looked a bit stiff, to be honest, but his power's there and he's learning.
Yeah, and after the fight he called out Nathan Gorman. Nathan Gorman was in the crowd, and they have some sort of beef, I guess. I heard they have some sort of rivalry. It's probably just something made up because they're the same age. It's probably just fabricated by like the promoters.
Probably
just to build up hype.
Frank Warren trying to be relevant again.
Yeah, fucking Frank Warren. Frank Warren needs to keep his ass out of the game. He's got a bunch of shit fighters at this point. He got killed by Eddie Hearn. And they're trying to set up Dubois versus Nathan Gorman for the end of the year. What a stupid fucking fight.
I don't agree with it. I heard a lot of people wanted it, but it could ruin their careers.
I don't understand. Why would you want two undefeated prospects fighting each other? They would just fuck both of their careers at the same time.
If
It's
Dubois
it's
looks
never
good,
a good idea.
if Dubois looks good and manages to win, I mean, people would never talk about Nathan Gorman again. If it's a close match, I feel like people wouldn't care that much about either of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a stupid It's a stupid fight. If you think about it this way, people compare Dubois. They compare him to Anthony Joshua. I don't know, because he's black, I guess. I don't fucking know why they compare him to Joshua. Maybe because he's black and he has power. I mean, there's not that much similarity between them. They don't even look the same or anything. I don't know why they compare them. But you can see the comparison between Nathan Gorman and Tyson Fury. They're both bald cunts. They're both kind of fat. They both fight the same.
Gorman has the same sort of clinching style. He's pretty slick. I like his technique.
Yeah, I think he's fun to watch. He's way more fun to watch than fucking Fury is.
When he hurts someone, he goes for it.
Yeah, he throws nasty hooks and uppercuts on the inside. He hurts people, unlike Fury. But if you think of it like that, imagine if Joshua and Fury are both 10-0 and they fight each other. No one would give a fuck about that fight. Why wouldn't you just wait like 2 or 3 years? Wait for these guys to become big. Like, wait for the older generation to, get out of their prime. Now, then everyone will want Nathan Gorman versus Dubois. No one wants it right now. Like, a few people want it, but if you wait a few years, it's a good investment. It's a big money fight.
I feel like they should both get a world title, or a title of some sort then, at least fight then.
Yeah, and there'd be a good domestic fight. Undefeated prospects should never fight each other. It just won't make money. Barely anyone knows who Dubois is. Even less people know who Nathan Gorman is. Stupid fucking fight. Dubois, not even 1 week after his last fight, has already announced his next opponent, Richard Yarde, on the Billy Joe undercard, the 13th of April. Interesting fight. This guy ducked. Well, he didn't end up fighting Joe Joyce. He was scheduled to. Guy from Ghana said he's going to put Ghana on the map. Talks a lot of shit. We don't know a lot about him. All we know is what our sources have told us in Ghana. Francis Checa has sparred him, told him he's doing very good. His manager said he's got great power.
Alright, the funny thing about the sparring is that Francis Checa said he got hit so hard that his brain went all the way back to Tanzania.
Damn, I guess we're in for a fight.
Yeah, I guess he has cracking power in that right hand.
In other prospect news, 2 massive prospects who we know from Tanzania, Pazi Wapazi and Francis Checa, finally, after years, finally fight. They were supposed to fight a few years ago on Christmas Day, but it got cancelled. This is a bitter rivalry, local rivalry between the two, and it was a crazy match. We have the exclusive footage from their managers, not uploaded anywhere, but we've been in contact with their managers for a while, and we got the footage.
It was a really scary match to watch. I mean, Pazi Wapazi threw like a monster. When he uppercut Francis Checa, it looked like Francis Checa slipped on a banana.
Yeah, the uppercut ended the fight in the 6th round. It was devastating. Checa was on the floor. Pazi Wapazi got up in the ring. He put his hands up in the air. The crowd was cheering. They started throwing mud. It was a classic Tanzanian fair.
What a great celebration, to be honest.
Yeah, no one does it quite like the Tanzanians, honestly.
Francis Checa still says he sees stars to this day, though.
Yeah, I think he's looking through a telescope with how much stars he's been seeing. Anthony Yarde had a fight. He fought Travis Reeves, which is he's okay, 17-3. And Yarde got him out of there in 5 rounds. The problem with Yarde is he has a lot of power, but he fights a lot with shoulder roll, and his shoulder roll is very fucking bad. He has a bunch of yes men around him. If you ever see a video of him on pads, you hear his fucking whole crew behind him yelling lions in the camp. But then he gets fucked up in fights and gets clipped real bad versus bums, so...
I don't think Travis Reeves is that good.
He's okay. He has an okay record.
I mean, he's a part-time electrician, and boxing's also part-time for him, so... I don't think it's a big win. I think Yarde got clipped too much.
Yeah, I think Yarde's an overhyped fighter, honestly.
I think he's got power, though.
Yeah, he has power, but his boxing skills aren't that good. He doesn't have the discipline. I think he has a bunch of yes men around him. People are hyping him, but I think eventually he's going to have a step-up fight and lose. That might be against Sergey Kovalev. He said he wanted to fight against him. He has a chance of beating Kovalev, but if he fights anyone else at that weight class, that's a stacked weight class. If he fights Bivol or Vosdik, they would all fuck him up. He's not gonna. The only way he wins a title in that weight class is if he fights Kovalev and knocks him out.
Yeah.
Because he is not winning on points against Kovalev, unless it's in the UK and it's a robbery. Kovalev will outbox him. His boxing skills aren't good, but he has good power.
I feel like there's 2 results. Either he gets outboxed by Kovalev, or Yarde manages to stop him late into the fight. Because I don't think Kovalev looked that good in his rematch versus Elder Alvarez. I think his jab was really good, but he didn't have snapped his punches anymore.
Yeah, he was just very good at boxing and range finding in that fight. He wasn't doing anything like devastating punches or anything like the Crusher that we know and love. But yeah, if he does fight anyone at that weight class, I mean, if you look at the top 5 for that weight class, it's pretty stacked. You got Betcheviev, you got Marcus Brown, Kovalev, Bivol, and Vosdik.
I mean, I don't see why Anthony Yarde's rated higher than Barrera right now. That's ridiculous.
I think Barrera beats him.
Yeah, he should really beat him. Look, the resume difference. Why is Yarde rated there?
I think Badu Jack beats him. Honestly,
Yeah, Jack 100%.
I think Badu Jack smashes him. That'd be a great step up fight for him. And he's overhyped, so people will say, yeah, he'll destroy Badu Jack, and he'll get in the ring, and Badu Jack will fuck him up.
He might need a while to recover though, after that massive gash that was in his forehead.
Yeah, that's true. I think Badu Jack beats Yarde, honestly. Everyone rated above him will beat him. I think Sullivan Barrera beats him. Who's the other British guy? Callum Johnson.
Callum Johnson's really good. He only lost to Beterbiev, and he has really good power. I mean, most of his KOs happen in the first 3 rounds.
I think Callum Johnson beats Yarde.
I think he KOs Yarde, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No, Joshua Buatsi, that's what I'm thinking of. Joshua
Buatsi, the prospect. He looks really good.
I think Joshua Buatsi is better than Yarde.
Yeah. He showed better skill and power so far.
He has a fight coming up as well against Liam Conroy. Shall we move on to Porter? John Porter had a fight last weekend against your Dennis Ugas. He's a Cuban fighter at welterweight, and most people say that Porter robbed Ugas. Which I saw some of the fight. It looked like Ugas had the better ring generalship. It looks like he was outboxing him, but Porter got the nod. People are really pissed off at the decision.
I haven't really seen it since I've seen highlights, but highlights sometimes show the wrong sort of result since they don't include most of the actual footage.
Yeah, some people said it could go either way, but I mainly saw people say Ugas got robbed. So I don't know. I mean, it's an American fight. America has some of the worst fucking cards I've ever seen in my life.
Probably favour the champion as well, since he's American there, to be fair.
Yeah, that's true. Alright, should we talk about Garcia vs Porter card?
Oh yeah, Mikey.
Yeah. Alright, big card this Saturday. We got Garcia versus Porter. But on the undercard, we have some good prospect fights, starting with Charles Martin. So Charles Martin is fighting Gregory Corbin. Gregory Corbin is 15-0, and there's been a lot of press about him online, mainly on YouTube. There's some videos of him sparring Shannon Briggs, and Shannon Briggs fucked him up quite badly. He doesn't look that good, to be honest. From what I've seen, I mean, he's 15-0, yeah, but look who he's fought. He's fought a bunch of bin men. He's fought 2 guys on their debut, and the rest of them have some of the worst records you've ever seen in your life.
He's probably fought a plumber though. That's a step up from a bin man.
Yeah, that is true. He fought a bin man, a plumber, then a painter decorator. And now he's fighting Charles Martin, which is a step up from that.
I think Martin looked good in his last fight with Kanaki. Oh, not really good, but I mean, he made Kanaki look pretty bad, and he made himself look bad. So okay performance overall for him.
I mean, Charles Martin gets hate, and then people will probably look at the records and say Charles Martin is going to lose to an up-and-comer. But I think Charles Martin beats Gregory Corbin.
I think Charles Martin wins. He walks his earth like a god, man. I mean, Gregory Corbin has no chance.
Gregory Corbin walks the earth like a bin man.
Yeah. There's not much footage of him. He's like pretty unknown right now.
Honestly, I think Charles Martin is going to beat Gregory Corbin, and he's going to call out Bermain Stavern for the super fight we've been waiting for.
That's true. I think Martin should win this, to be honest. I think it's Stavern's shot, and he should probably retire soon.
Yeah, Stavern is somehow in a worse spot than Martin is. I think they should just fight each other and then retire. 'Cause it's like the prerequisite for Joshua Wilder, because Joshua beat Martin to get the title. Wilder beat Stavern to get the title. They should fight each other. That'd be a great fight. It'd be a heavyweight super fight. Martin versus Stavern.
It's pretty funny how Charles Martin's bio, his alias is Prince Charles, but he works as earth like a god. Shouldn't it be God Charles?
That's true. Prince, not God. Actually, move on to Jalen Love. Another prospect fight on the undercard. We have David Benavidez fighting Jalen Love. Jalen Love's a super middleweight that works at Mayweather's gym. I think it's a pretty good fight. Jalen Love's a pretty good fighter from what I've seen. I've seen a lot of videos of him training. I still think Jalen Love's a good fighter, though. I think it'll be a decent fight. I think Benavidez will win.
Jalen Love is a part-time fighter, though. He has another job right now, too. So, I mean, Benavidez should win, but I feel like it's going to probably be...
I don't think it'll be a knockout, though, honestly.
Benavidez.
Yeah, Benavidez doesn't have the power to knock people out, really.
He
has the power to TKO people. Like, he can TKO people, but he doesn't have, like, the one-punch knockout.
Yeah, he's pretty young. He doesn't have that man strength yet.
Yeah, he throws large combos.
Yeah.
Large, long combos just to TKO people. And it works, but he just doesn't have the one-punch power, so... I think it'll be an
Stendy's
entertaining
good.
fight, though. It should be an entertaining fight, at least.
Yeah. Jay Leon's underrated still. For a part-time fight, he does more than a good job.
Yeah, he is a good fighter. He's underrated, honestly.
He has great defense.
To get on to the main event. Main event this Saturday. Massive fight. Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. I have Errol Spence edging this one, honestly.
I think Errol Spence wins it like by a pretty big landslide, to be honest.
I think Spence is way too big. If you look at the weight, if you look at the size difference as well, Errol Spence is 5'9.5". Mikey Garcia is 5'6". That's a pretty big difference. And height isn't everything. So if you look at reach, 68-inch reach on Garcia, and Errol Spence has 72-inch, which is still in favor of Errol Spence. So Errol Spence has all the physical attributes in his corner. He has a very good amateur career.
I feel like the first round or two will be pretty close, and then Spence will hurt him. I feel like Mikey's just gonna not have an answer to the range and jab off Spence after round 2. I feel like he's too one-dimensional. He doesn't throw in combinations much. He just has a jab and a 1-2 really, and throws straight punches. I think Spence has more of a arsenal. I could throw anything at him.
I think Spence has a bigger arsenal of punches. Well, just a bigger boxing arsenal in general. I think he has. So for experience, I'd say Mikey Garcia has the edge, but he's just way too small. We'll see on the weigh-in anyway. When you look at the weigh-in, that usually tells you a lot about the fight, but they might rehydrate. But if they rehydrate, that's just going to benefit Spence even more.
I feel like Spence will stop him by TKO, probably round 10 or 11.
I don't know if he'll stop him. Garcia has a good defense. I just think that Spence will beat him in decision points.
I feel like Spence will break him down after a couple of rounds, like he did to Cal Brook.
Yeah, he might. Garcia has good conditioning as well, though. Garcia has a good heart. It's just a hard fight to call. I think I have it about 70-30 to Spence, but I'm not going to count Garcia out.
80-20 for Spence to win.
I still think Garcia's a good fighter. So.
I think Garcia's good, but I don't think he brings enough to beat Errol Spence. I think only the first few rounds are going to be close.
If he beats
Maybe 2 or
Errol
3
Spence,
rounds.
I think Mikey Garcia is pound for pound number 1, because that means he would have conquered this is fourth weight division now, right?
Yeah, should be his 4th.
Yeah, he should be pound for pound number 1, honestly, if he beats Errol Spence. Or at least in the top 3. He should be above Triple G at least. Alright, so that has been the Box Prospect Podcast, but we have a little extra segment at the end here where we have special guest Tony Bellew. He's going to be answering some of your questions that you asked him on Reddit. Hey, Tony Bellew, you there?
Alright, Kaz.
How's life after retirement from boxing?
Well, life's been actually alright, just doing a split of 103, just trying to get my body back into a proper rhythm. But, it's not been too bad, just spending time with my wife and kids, just, not doing too much really. But so part of me actually kind of wants to get back into the game, but I don't think that's possible in its current state. So, just want to focus on my family.
I was really happy to hear that you're doing well for yourself now, outside boxing. A lot of people have a hard time transitioning from being a fighter to normal life again. I'm glad to hear that you're doing well.
So I believe you got some questions for me today.
Yeah, we got a lot of questions from Reddit. A lot of them were really stupid. A lot of them were about football, guys. This is a boxing podcast, not a football podcast.
I don't like Reddit.
Yeah, I got some problems with Reddit myself. So I'm going to read out a couple of the questions that we got on Reddit. Alright, the first question we've got today is from Reddit user Evil Swazzer. He said, do you think Usyk has what it takes to succeed at heavyweight? Of course, you have experience with Usyk. You fought him.
Well, when I watch Usyk at cruiserweight, I see a lot of good qualities in him. Some would say he's a quality operator, but the problem is I don't think he's got the height to be able to build the weight and to succeed at heavyweight. So.
Yeah, I think I generally agree with that statement. I think he's a really good boxer. He was an Olympic gold medalist. He's the best in his division. He unified cruiserweight. I just don't think he has the physical attributes to compete at the level that he would have to at heavyweight in order to be a world champion. Of course, he could probably take out Wilder or, maybe a Povetkin or a Louis Ortiz, 50-year-old man. But I think when he's in there with someone like Joshua or Fury, they'll give him a lot of trouble just because of the physical attributes. I mean, do you think Usyk has what it takes to take out Joshua?
Realistically, I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think that's sort of the general consensus. Alright, the next question is from Reddit user Ains the Beast. And he is asking, who do you think will become the top dog at heavyweight? Joshua, Fury, Wilder, or Usyk? and why? And I'd also like to extend that question as to what do you think of the current state of the heavyweight division?
Honestly, looking at the heavyweight division now, if Joshua doesn't fight, if he doesn't fight Fury or Wilder soon, his career's going to go in decline quickly. So I think the heavyweight division right now rests on whether Fury or Wilder fights Joshua. But overall, in terms of overall ability and quality in the career they've had, I have to say it's Joshua. He is a quality operator.
Yeah, I think we'll probably end up seeing these big heavyweight fights that we want to see, just maybe not as soon as we originally thought. But anyway, we've been talking a lot about the heavyweight division. Let's talk more about you. So here's a question from Reddit user Dan Brewer, and he's asking, do you have any plans for the future involving boxing? You know, are we ever going to see you in the ring again?
Don't think, in terms of actually being in the ring, I don't think I'm going back to the ring, but I think I want to carry on with punditry because it's the best way I can stay in contact with the sport I love so much.
Yeah, so far I've been enjoying your commentary on fights, so I'm glad to hear that you're going to keep with it. Alright, this question we're moving down to welterweight. Reddit user N1 Wukong asks, do you think Terence Crawford has the skills to dominate his weight class?
Yes, I can see him dominating this division. There's just his raw technical ability is just so strong.
Well, I know you're a busy man, so I'll just ask you one more question. Big fight this weekend. Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence. Historic fight. Who do you have winning?
Well, both Spence and Garcia are quality operators, but the way I see it, Errol Spence is just slightly bigger, so probably gives him the edge in this fight, so I'm going to have to give it to Spence.
Yeah, I think everyone's come to that same conclusion. Alright, well, I really want to thank you so much for being on this podcast.
No problem, Kaz. You know I like being on the Boxing Prospect podcast. It's always a pleasure being on here.
Oh, thank you.
I can't wait to talk to you again in the future.
You too.
Thanks.
Thank you, bye. Well, that was Tony Bellew. Thanks for tuning in to the first episode of the Box Prospect podcast. We'll try to have one every big fight week.